right, we are back for another episode of TMP with a special guest from the East Coast. We got him right here in front of me, the Mike Cookie Dealer. I'm going to call him Mike Cookie Dealer now, Mr. Juan Morel. What's up, my man, Juan?
What's up? How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. I can't complain. And I see you you got little Isabel here on your lap. Isabel is growing like seaweed. She must be eating them cookies like nothing else. She gets bigger every day.
She's getting big, smart, and
Are they back in school now on the East Coast?
yeah, she's been going to school the whole time.
Oh, okay. So there was no.
Not the beginning, not last year, but last year she was in preschool. This year she started kindergarten.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what's the situation like on the East Coast now? Is it still gyms are open, right? But you got to wear a mask.
Yeah, you got to wear a mask in the gym. Gyms are open, but it's cool, you know. I mean, obviously the mask it's annoying. I hate training with it on, but you got to do whatever you got to do, you know.
So there's no putting it under your nose or something like that. Is he strict?
You can get away with that, you know, but I mean, for the most part, they what CD says that they want it over, but you can get away with it.
Yeah, it's so strange, man. You guys in New York, you guys have to wear the mask, and over here, there's no more mask mandate. You can go anywhere. I don't even own I don't own a mask anymore. I don't have a mask.
Yeah,
it's crazy. We're in the same country, and it feels like it's a different country.
Yeah.
So.
But even at our business, like we require for the facility. I can take you back there. Everybody has to wear masks.
Yeah.
Especially with food, like making the cookies and all that stuff. So it's
I can understand that for people in businesses that they have to, waiters and waitresses. I can understand that, but for average people,
compared to being in the gym training,
All right, talking about training, man. I want to go back. I want to talk about the Juan Morel. Growing up you grew up on the East Coast, or did you?
Yeah, I grew up on the East Coast. Yeah.
So I know you are Dominican heritage. I know I met your family. I mean, I know your whole family from when we came over to the Dominican Republic for your wedding. But I want to know Juan before, and I know there's a lot of stories that you have that a lot of people don't know. With Juan before he started bodybuilding, or as he started bodybuilding. Is there? Take us through when you growing up in New York, and what makes you say, okay, I want to be a bodybuilder. And most people, do different sports out of school, like football or whatever. What was there any other sport other than bodybuilding for you before?
I was getting into boxing. I liked boxing. I liked to. Sorry about that, Isabella.
That's okay.
I grew up playing a lot of sports because I grew up in I grew up Brooklyn, Queens. They used to be a lot of handball, so I used to play a lot of handball in the parks, and I was really big into that. And then after that, when I got a little bit older, I kind of I started I wanted to get into boxing a little bit, and I started with that, and that is what actually led me into kind of bodybuilding. Was I started lifting weights. And then I started seeing my body change. I was doing both, and then people were saying you can't do both. It was just too much cardio. I guess went with the boxing, and I was, So when I started seeing my body change, I was like, oh man, I want to bodybuild. So I trained for the first 3 years. I trained, and I looked amazing. Still nothing crazy, but I went from 165 pounds to 195, 192, put on some good solid muscle, all natural. Mm-hmm. And then I decided to do my first show in 2007. And then when I competed, I got second place in my first show against 30 people. And I was like, wow, I didn't know what to expect. I was seeing all these guys backstage, and I was one of the smallest guys there, but I was very aesthetic and symmetrical, and I was ripped. So, and I only died for 4 weeks.
So your first show was in 2007?
Yeah.
Your first amateur show?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. That's not even that. That's only 14 years.
Yeah.
So you stepped on the first bodybuilding stage as an amateur. I'm going to take it like a regional show or whatever it was, a stage show, in 2007. When did you turn pro? Because I remember I was there when you turned pro.
Turned pro 2011.
Was that Atlanta?
That was Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember I was there when you turned pro. I remember. So it feels like it's forever. So it's not even that long. So you basically turned pro at the end of I was already retired.
Yeah, I remember because that's when me and you became friends. You know.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. So you've been only a pro since 2011, and you've been on the Olympia stage how many times?
I believe 5.
5 times already. So you didn't waste no time, man. You didn't waste no time. I remember I watched you. I followed you. I saw you compete as an amateur, and I saw you when you turned pro. And I remember we started talking closer, and I saw your progress that you were making after you turned pro. It almost felt like you caught the bug at that time. It didn't really hit you before, but as soon as you turned pro, I think that changed a lot in the way you were thinking about bodybuilding. And I saw what was happening because you started putting on some crazy size. You are.
That's when I met Karen, and I had a stable life, you know.
Yeah. So you had. Yeah.
So like we got together, and there was no stress. And we just bodybuilding training, and you know, she pushed me and she supported me the whole time. You know, like.
Yeah, and I can only vouch for that. I know Carol, and she is. I mean, this is just there's very few athletes that I know, from the past or even now in the present that have a solid female that's has their back. I mean, no matter what, you know what I mean? Because you know what it takes. It's not easy. We're not always easy. We think we are, but we don't realize how stupid we can get sometimes. And what kind of shit these women have to put up with, Yeah. And it's hard. And I just had a conversation today with a person. I said, the problem is when you're a bodybuilder, and if you make money doing what you're doing, okay, sometimes people can understand. Okay, let's let him have his 5 minutes. He'll be all right later. But if you use the money that's in the family for the stuff that you need, supplements, and who knows what else, and then you don't even place at regional shows, and you act like a professional bodybuilder, that doesn't fare well with females, and that's why you don't see a lot of people staying together with their wives. You don't see that happen all the time. There's always problems as a bodybuilder, and I can see in the way Carol is. And listen, you guys did something that not a lot of people were able to do. That is not only have a successful bodybuilding career, but to turn something that was your cheat day on a weekend, to turn that into a business that will be able to take care for your family, for the rest of your lives. And I think that's a crazy story. I want to get to that later. But let's talk about Juan Morel as a bodybuilder first. So you turned pro, and your goal was obviously, it's always not only to be at the Olympia, but also to be a contender at the Olympia. Okay.
Yeah, you know what? And it's just crazy because my main goal turning as a bodybuilder was to win the New York Pro and to win an Arnold. And I did both.
Yeah.
Then after that, I wanted to obviously place in the top 5 in the Olympia. After I achieved both those goals, I was like, okay, I achieved that. And I know I could have, it's just, this past year was very, very rough. Like I shouldn't have never competed because my mind was not even my mind. My mind plus as busy as I was with the business, like I wasn't 100% in. I was trying to be 100% in, but I couldn't. I was doing everything, but I wasn't doing everything. So it's like I even when I prepped, I started my prep in low weight. Instead of being 300 pounds, I was 258 pounds, and I competed at pretty much like at 245. So it was like, I usually compete like at a 250, 260. So that was, I should have never done that, but it is what it is. I regret nothing. I said I was going to do the Olympia. I'm a man of my word. So a lot of people ask, oh, why did you do the Olympia? Why did you do the Olympia? I was like, well, I said I was. I signed the contract.
Yeah.
And that's who I am. I'm a man of my word. I'm one of those individuals that if I say something, I do it. And if I shake your hand and I promise you something, I do it. So sometimes I might not want to, but I feel like when I say something, I just can't go back on my word.
Yeah, and you also qualified, so you're one of the best of the best. So why would people ask you, why did you do it? Just because somebody's not 100% doesn't mean you're not qualified to be with the best of the best. So if you would have set out, the same people would have probably said, why didn't you do it?
Yeah. And I did my best. I did my best. I put it in, Chris could tell you, Chris Cormier was staying with me. He was training for a while. And I was training twice a day. It's just I was putting a lot of work into the business, and I was working. And, this is something that's big. We're feeding 57, we have a lot of employees. We have, I need to be here. This is, business. And it's not something that I can be like, well, I don't feel like showing up today. It's like the gym, I had to do that. But, right. I was stressed out a lot. This takes a lot of energy and a lot of focus. I love doing this, and it's just, I couldn't be my best as much as I thought, and I thought I could do both. It's hard.
So what's going to happen in the future now? Are you going to look after the business, or are you going to give up bodybuilding for that?
I took off the year off, and I don't know. I mean, I can't decide. I mean, if next year, because the business is growing at a very rapid rate, we have a lot of crazy stuff coming in. I can't talk about it, but there's a lot of stuff in the works, and like I said, it's growing beyond what I thought. So I mean, if I can get to a point next year that I can, just be able to run the business with not being to be so involved. I mean, I'm always going to be involved, but not have to dedicate so many hours of my day, then maybe I'll get back on stage. But if not, I don't know. I mean, this.
How old are you now? I don't even know.
39.
39. You want my advice?
Go ahead.
I would do whatever pays. Whatever pays, that's what you focus on.
I always did follow my heart, and I bodybuild. I love it to death for something I love. I love business. And that was something I always had a passion for before, but this is something I love. This is fun. The same way I would put all the energy I was putting into bodybuilding when I was competing, doing my cardio, following my diet, training. That all that focus is going into this, and it's it's fun. So it's like
And it pays, that's the more fun, because you're getting paid doing what you love to do. And I know you as a bodybuilder. For you, not training is like being in prison. I know you are probably one of the hardest working bodybuilders, and I've said this many times, one of the hardest working bodybuilders out there. Sometimes maybe a little too intense. Maybe sometimes we could have backed off just a little bit. And would have probably benefited a little bit more. But now, you've done everything in your bodybuilding career. You achieved basically everything you wanted to achieve, other than placing top 5 at the Olympia. But now you're at a point. We're 39 years old. Everybody, they're going to look back at their career. So when you look back, do you regret anything? If you say, listen, are you ready to give up bodybuilding? Let's not talk about the business. That's obviously much more important right now. But when you look back, so you achieved it all. Do you believe in your heart that you still have what it takes to get into the top 5 or top 6 at the Olympia, or do you think maybe it's too late?
I would have that's all all right. So before I get to answer that question completely, I'm just gonna say one thing. The Olympia's always been my Achilles. Mm-hmm. I could look 100% at every show, no matter how good I'm looking at a week or 2 out from the Olympia, because there's been times where 2 weeks out, you would have saw me, you would have been top 5, top 4. And a lot of people who see me said for sure. And then comes Olympia, and everything just falls apart. My anxiety goes crazy, and Olympia is my Achilles. And I learned that this past Olympia, I was like, last year as well, I was like, no matter what, I can, that's my Achilles. That show is the one show that I feel like I can't nail no matter what. I've nailed it once, 2014 when I got the top 10. That I looked incredible. I tried it, I looked amazing. But besides that, after that, I've never been able to nail it. Now, going to answer that question is, do I feel like I have what it takes to place the top 5? If I feel, knowing my head, if I can get back up, if I wanted to, right now I'm 250. So if I was to say, hey, you know what, I would say be able to dedicate my time. All right.
It's hard. It's a hard question.
It's a hard question because there's so many great competitors right now. Not saying I wasn't. I feel like I was, and I am. But I also, I know that they're training right now. They're training hard. I'm training, but I'm not training hard. They're training hard right now. They're going to be training hard next year. And it's like saying, once you downsize a little bit, even though I have some good sides, it's like, it's hard to say, can I come back to be 100%? I will have to jump up to 300 pounds again, try to maintain that, and then come down. And if I can come back and I feel like if I can bring one of my best looks, like maybe 2015, the New York Pro, if I can bring that with a couple of little improvements, yeah, I feel like I can make the top 5. But only if I was to be able to bring that,
Yeah. If I would have asked you that question a few years ago without the business, you would have said 100% yes, because your mind would have been focused on one thing. So right now, you have something that's very successful, unbelievably successful. And that's why this is where your focus is right now, because this is where the money comes from. At the end of the day, I totally get, what you're saying. And I would be the first one to say, listen, if he retires now, hey, he did everything he said he was going to do.
I don't got anything else to prove. I won
seven
pro titles. I got second place in over 15 shows.
You have nothing to you have nothing to prove anymore, and you show the world that, listen, not all bodybuilders are stupid. Sometimes there's plan Bs that you create before you retire. You create a plan. A lot of people, I wish others would take this a little bit more serious and understand that when you need an exit strategy, and it doesn't matter if you win in the Olympia 10 years back to back, or if you just place in the top 10 back. It doesn't matter what you do. You need an exit plan, because at the end of the day, bodybuilding is the love. We have a love for that sport. But listen, once we get to a certain age, your body can't always do this and go up. There's going to be a point where you stand still, you plateau. We all know what that means. And then there's times where you realize yourself that, listen, I'm putting in the same amount of effort and I'm not getting the same result anymore. That's a sign that your body is telling you, listen, you're not getting younger, man. You're getting older. And in your case, you have a career that a lot of people would admire, have a career like you. 7 pro wins. I don't have 7 pro wins. You know what I'm saying? So what you achieved is unbelievable.
Top 4 at the Olympia.
Huh?
So you got top 4 at the Olympia.
Yeah. But still, but at the end of the day, what the most important thing is that we made a name for ourselves in the sport of bodybuilding. Everybody knows who Juan Morel is. With Juan Morel comes, now it's a party. Everybody knows that too. That's your thing, and now everybody sees My Cookie Dealer. Okay, so now, what is My Cookie Dealer? Tell us the story, man. How did it really happen? How did it started? And how did that come about for you guys to start such a successful company?
So it all started with, you know me, that I always love posting my cheat meals. I love posting, So one day, Karen always, bakes for me. So she stopped for about 6 months to maybe 6 months to a year, something like she stopped baking for me. And one day, I said, you know what, we get married. I was joking around. Now, it's like, get comfortable so you don't bake for me no more. It's okay. I get it. She started laughing. And, she's not one to say much. All I knew is Sunday came on, cheat day came, she baked me those cookies. She baked me 32 of them. She knows I like to indulge. But So I went, I'm like, all right, I tasted when I lost my mind. So I made a post like, oh, the wife baked me these cookies. And, I was being honest and I was like, these things are, the best cookies, whatever. So then people just started DMing. The comments went crazy on the post. Didn't think nothing of it. Now, every Sunday, once I like something and I love it, it becomes part of my Sunday routine. I was like, all right, you got to make these for me every Sunday. So from every Sunday to the first time that she made them for me, I've eaten those cookies. And but now I started posting them every Sunday. And then people were like, oh, you guys should start selling them. Now my DMs were blowing up, 300, 400 DMs just blowing up. The comments insane. After I see all that, I said, babe, we should, start, let's start. We always talked about we were going to start something. I've been saving up with, I've been saving up for a lot of years. And we had the good thing was when we started the business, I didn't need no loans. I had money in the bank. So at first, like, hey, let's start something. We've been talking about it. I have money to invest. We have money to invest. Let's do this. So she's like, oh, nobody really wants to eat my cookies. They saying that nobody wants to eat my cookies. My friend Augie, he owns a bakery out here in Long Island. She's like, go first. I'm not gonna, I do this for you at the house, but I'm not gonna bake cookies out of the house for people. And I was like, all right. So I took it to one of our close friends, Augie, and he's like, yeah, come inside. He has, like, when I say huge bakery, he provides all the bread for all the stores in Long Island. So she baked them, went to a show. She was after the shows. After she finished doing makeup, she would make a post. I'm gonna be in the parking lot, and I will also like make a post, and then she would go out, and cookies would be gone within 2 minutes.
She would sell them out of the trunk.
Yeah, so it felt like a deal. Like she said, like making so that's how my cookie dealer came about, because it just felt like
a drug deal. It was a cookie deal, like a drug deal.
Yeah. So and then even that's how it was. Like after she would do makeup, she was doing that, and then our biggest test was like, all right, came the Universe, and we decided, hey, let's make a
booth,
1,000 cookies, and go to the Universe, get a booth, and sell them. Every single cookie sold. So it was like, oh, this is the cookies you're posting about. This is the cookies you're posting about. This is the cookies, and all the competitors going down, or people that just follow, and just everything was sold out by the end of Team U. So at the top now it's called Universe. And then after that, a month later, we decided to go online. And after that, it was a wrap. It was just, the orders came in, we sold out. Was there any time where you're like, hey man, this is getting too big. Can we do this? Are we ready for this? Was there any time in the situation where you thought, maybe we need to back off a little bit? This is getting too big. It was growing fast, very fast. A lot faster than I think we both expected at first. We just kind of grew with it. We wasn't scared. Like, we were scared, but we wasn't scared. Like, we wasn't scared to take action, start, hiring people, and just we grew with the business. And, at one point we grew too fast for the amount of staff we had at that moment. So we were just like working like the amount of hours. People would see like, oh yeah, all this and all, but they did not see all the hard work and the 2 hours of sleep to just, recharge and back at it, trying to like pack boxes and just a lot. It was a lot of work. But
at what time, if you did you realize that, shit, this is taking so much time. I might have to put bodybuilding a little bit on the side now.
That was 2020. That was like, especially, like I started noticing when I started getting ready for it, that I was like, damn, like but I told myself I can do both. And I was trying to do both, but at the end of the day, when I was doing it, I was not sacrificing anything with the business. So sometimes I had to, like, when I would normally go to train at 5, 6 o'clock, I would sometimes have to go train at 7 or 8 because, I was like, this had to get done and I needed to do this. And I can't just say, well, when you're working, if you got like 1,000 packages to get out the door by the time FedEx comes and they're not ready and you have to get them done, I just can't say, hey, I'm going to leave those 1,000 packages from not getting done and just walk out the door.
Right.
Like, people, hey, customers, I had to work out. So, I can't get your deliveries out today, but don't worry, they'll be in there tomorrow. So you know,
That's crazy. So she went from baking them at home to baking it in a bakery. And now, how many employees do you guys have?
50 or more. We have a lot. Yeah.
That's including drivers, packaging, and this. When did this start? How long ago did you guys say, "Oh, let's go online"? When did that happen?
I started making the post in 2019 was when we started the business.
Okay.
And yeah, by the end of 2019 is when it started taking off.
So it looks like COVID was actually good for you guys.
We blew up before it, like we were killing it before then, but it while COVID, that was one of our scares. We thought like COVID was probably it was gonna slow down, but we maintained and we grew, even grew then too.
The funny thing is, because people out of the industry, bodybuilders or whoever's involved, officials, if they do something, it has to be something that's, fitness considered, healthy. And you said, you know what? Forget all this. We going all in with double butter, double sugar, double everything. And you're killing it, I just can't forget. I mean, I tell people all the time, because a lot of people think it's me. My cookie dealer is my company. People think that, and I'll tell you why. Because I got so many cookies now, I can't eat them all, bro. I mean, I can't eat them all. So I got my neighbors, the little girls and the neighbors, they're knocking on my door now. You got more of them cookies? I drop some off the gym sometimes, and there's your little logo on there. And your little logo, because we look similar, we look alike, People say, oh, this is... No, I said, this is not me. That's Juan Morel. I'm telling people, it's not me. I said, I swear it's not me. It's just crazy how things can happen, when you trying to do something for the fitness industry, you get let down because who cares? As soon as you do something that has nothing to do with the sport, has nothing to do with being healthy, you realize how much bad food can get to people, you know what I mean? Even though if it's just your cheat day. I thought I was just doing it. I was really only doing it on Saturdays. And now I'm at the point where I have one every day.
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
I'm trying to adjust. I was like, because in the beginning, when it wasn't a Saturday, I felt bad. I was like, oh, shit, let me do an extra hour cardio. Because these cookies, listen, from what I saw, the one with the lowest amount of calories is 990.
Yeah.
Average is 1,400. So you don't eat these cookies. So and I know people. I know females that eat 3-4 cookies in one sitting, and I don't understand how that is possible. I couldn't do it. What's the max? But the most amount of cookies you ever had?
At one sitting, I've done about 6.
6. And then what?
And then what did I eat? Some ice cream, probably.
Well, that's another thing. You are very big with cheat days. And, I remember you had those special, was it the 20,000 calorie days?
Yeah.
Was that including the cookies, or that was without the cookies back then?
I did. The last one I did was 2000, I think it was 2019 with the cookies, or 2020 with the cookies. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So,
right before that, that's when the company blew up. And right before the pandemic, I actually did a video, and so it was all before the mask stuff. I was actually going to the gym. I was I did all that stuff, and the video did amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how is Karen? How is she taking all this? I mean, she went not only from being a mother, now she's going to have to, take care of a baby and take care of a company too. So is that hard on her too?
She works unbelievably hard. Is it hard on her? Yes, but she does it and makes it look easy. Mm-hmm. She just stepped out because Isabella was making a lot of noise, so she went out there to hang out with her. But that woman, the hardest I've never seen somebody work as hard as her. And I'm not just saying that because she's my wife. She does it all. She does it all. Like she's a hard worker. She's very inspirational. She motivates not only me, but I believe like everybody here, especially all the women, because she's a very strong, individual. And you've seen it. She's always pushed me to become a better person and like a better competitor, better everything. And she's amazing.
Yeah, you guys felt perfect for each other. And I said that when we were in the Dominican Republic, because you can see when people have good chemistry together. Sometimes You know, it just doesn't look right sometimes, you know, and there you could see everything was absolutely perfect. And then a baby on top of that changes, that takes it to another level. And I know that too. So let me ask you this now. Is Karen pro bodybuilding now with the business, or would she be okay with you saying, you know what, let's just focus on the business and let's be done with bodybuilding? I train for fun as a hobby. Would she be okay with that?
Karen is big, letting me whatever makes me happy.
Mm-hmm.
She's not like, if I decide I want to do a show, she's like, all right, that's what we're gonna do. She's more like, you know, she never gives me anything on, you know, unless it's something that she feels is totally stupid.
Yeah.
You know, like she definitely, when cat is out of the bag, I'm gonna say it right now. I was gonna get ready for the New York Pro, and I decided, like, halfway through the prep, I decided not to do it because obviously with 2 weeks out, you could tell I'm not in prep. I was getting ready, and I was 8 weeks out, and I was trying to push, and I was like, unless I can bring my best. And, you know, she said, like, you know, you cannot do a show if you're not 100%, you're not 100%. So she, you want to do it, we'll do it, but I'm going to be 100% honest. And it was like 8 weeks out, you do not look like the Juan that is going to win, the Juan that we know, you know, and it's like, you know, so that's when I decided to take the rest of the year off.
And nobody knows better than the wife, the girlfriend, whoever's always next to you. That's why I always tell athletes, if you really want to know what you look like, ask your wife or ask your girlfriend who sees you every day, you know. And if you can take that, because some people be like, you know, tell me what I look like. And if they say something negative, you're like, you don't know what the hell you're talking about, you know. But they do. They've been with you since the beginning, and they know exactly what's going on. You know, my wife was the same. She told me, I said, I don't know, something's different. She didn't want to put it in a bad way, but like, it's not the same, you know.
It's funny because we went to I was 8 weeks out from the New York Pro. And we went to the gym. I was training. You know, she doesn't go to the gym with me. But that day, I asked her to come with me. Like, hey, let's go, let's drive. So she came. I was training, and then after that, I did some posing in the gym. And I said, what do you think? And that's when she told me. She told me, like, straight up and down, don't do it. I'm telling you. You don't. You know, it's not. You know, it's like, will you probably do well? Maybe, yeah, probably, but. You know, you don't. I look better than I did. I was looking better than I looked at the Olympia, but I wasn't myself. So I had put on some size, but it just wasn't enough. And even I noticed it. You know, I was like, you know what? You said that. That's it. You don't have to say no more. I'm not gonna do it.
So what's the goal? What's the goal now? What's the future goal for the next couple of years?
Just keep growing this brand, which is growing at a very incredible rate. And just keep growing, and like we hit mainstream. Like this brand is like right now it's just you know, like, to be honest, is like 98% of our people who buy from us are mainstream buyers, you know. So
exactly, yeah.
And that was the whole thing when me and her always talked about starting a company. Like you said, we went outside of, like, most people want to do something in the fitness. We always talked about it. You know, I wanted to do something outside. You know, I wanted to do something food related. So I would, you know, at one point I mentioned something about peanut butter or whatever. Like, we, you know, we just, and this fell in, you know, on our lap because of her baking, and, you know, and then, you know, that was just like something that was like, oh wow.
It's an unbelievable success story, and it should be enough again for everybody to see that anything is possible if you are not lazy. You can't be lazy. You got to be able to put the time in, and sometimes you got to focus. You put your focus on different areas. You know, it's not always bodybuilding. You know, therefore, like I said, you know, for me, you know, I'm very big on, you know, doing the sport of bodybuilding. Of course, it's got to be beneficial. You know, you got to make some money because it's a hard sport. But also, the goal is also to go in healthy. You want to get out healthy. You know what I mean? And what better exit strategy to have a business that's making the money that you could never make with bodybuilding? You know what I mean? I see it. That this is me right now thinking. I said, you have the perfect exit strategy. You know, where you could say, listen, you know, you can be involved in bodybuilding. You know, you're always going to be a bodybuilder. It's never going to change. Yeah. You know, we could help people, coach people, do whatever you want to do, but focus on what makes the money, you know, and therefore I think that I was going to talk to you, and I want to talk to you. I said, why not branch out with this stuff? Why not come over to the West Coast?
We have a lot of things that we're working on. We're focusing, like I said, we have a lot of big things coming. We're just we're doing everything at a certain pace because we're trying to get certain things done first. But you know, that's not out the question. We are.
I have a lot of. I make these cookies pretty popular around over here, bro. Trust me. When I saw you open up this, what is it, like a cookie store, or what was it?
The what?
The place. Did you just open up a place where you could get the cookies?
It's a pop up, and it's in Riverhead, and it's crazy.
Yeah. When I saw that, I immediately thought about this in Arizona, right here. So we need to get on the call, man. We need to get on the call. Because there's already some companies trying to copy cookie, you know, selling cookies.
They've been doing that since we started, but they can't, you know, they can try to copy, but you know, the Karen's recipe is unique.
Oh yeah,
So-
no doubt about that. But what I'm saying is, listen, hey, there's ways to get shit done over here on the West Coast. I'm telling you, I could right now, I could sell cookies out of my house.
But I know. I mean, there's people. I mean, we've gone through so many different things, but like there's people who we kind of caught that were buying a lot at once, and we noticed they were buying cookies and they were selling them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just because the cookies like are so hard to get, so people were just like, oh man, like, you know. But we have a lot of, like I said, we have a lot of things in store and in plan, and they're going to go into play just at the right time. You know, it's just there's a few things that we have to do first in order to, you know, do those things. But that's something that it's in the works.
All right. Well, you heard it here first. Cookies is gonna come. Well, there she is. I don't know. Can you hear? She can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just told Juan. I said, listen, I'm here on the West Coast. I said, I make this cookie so popular in my area, I could literally sell cookies out of my house right now because people are knocking at my door asking for cookies. You know.
We were, California was our next expansion before the Riverhead, but the government was putting really hard restrictions, and we were having a hard time really getting space out there without. COVID's a weird time.
Hey,
so
I'm in Arizona, baby. I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm gonna come on in with you guys. I said, hey, listen, if you need somebody out here, I'm right here for you.
See, we got our pushers already.
There you go. I'm telling you. I don't want to call and say, listen, this is too many cookies. So I eat one every day, but I have to give some away. I can't eat them all by myself because you guys got me on some kind of list every day, but I'm stuffed and the doorbell rings, FedEx drops another box off. I was like, what are they doing? All my apps are gone, number one. I'm at the point where I don't care. But, you know, I got to give cookies away. And there's people asking me, where can we buy these cookies? And then I tell them, I said, here, go to the website or whatever. And they said, well, we can't buy online. So there's something where, I remember I called you one time and asked you, how can they get them cookies? And you said they got to get on some lists. And then it's almost like a stock market. That's like, here for sale. And an hour later, they're not for sale anymore.
So the deal is Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday at noon, we go live. Eastern time. The site is live. You have all the new flavors, because as you know, every box is different. We come out with different flavors each drop, and the site is live until it sells out. So, and they sell out fast. So many people all over the world are hopping in. When I say all over the world, it's not just the U.S. We're ordering from Dubai, Kuwait. I mean, everywhere you can think of.
Now, let me ask you something else. Who comes up with all them names, man? I'm confused every time I look in the box. I see new names.
That's her.
Is it always a different cookies, or do you sometimes just change the names?
Oh, we have over 1,500 cookies.
Okay, what's up? Can I get just a regular Juan Morel's favorite? Can I just put a request in, like all this sprinkles and it looks good, but I'm pretty basics, like the old school bodybuilder. Just give me what he would eat.
Now I eat a lot of.
So do you sit there? Do you literally sit there and come up with names?
We have a meeting,
Neighbors,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. We sit down, we have a meeting, and we
I
just go-
couldn't even come up with names like this. I mean, how do you make up these names? I mean, do you have a list where you could, so you get some hints?
He does it all. Dennis, if you was to come out here for a week and just see, like, this woman is...
No, I'm not stupid. I'm not coming. No, I would be fat. No, you ain't making me fat. I'm not coming. There's no chance. Because I gotta have my milk with the cookies, so that makes it even worse. No, but I believe you, brother. I believe you. This is unbelievable. So listen, man, I appreciate you coming on, talking to me. I would let you go now, but I want to talk to you about one more thing. The Olympia 2020. You've been on that stage. I want to talk to you about your experience of this year's Olympia. And is there an era change? What do you think?
With Rami winning, I think Rami looked amazing.
People always ask how I got here. I was willing to work just a little harder than everyone else. Every damn day. If I can have hundreds of hours back, I'm gonna grab them. Spending hours prepping chicken, rice, and vegetables, F that. I rely on perfect nutrition. I rely on Trifecta.
Is there an era change? You know how it is, Dennis. I mean, I don't think it is. I think that, it's always who brings what on that stage. And they've been saying for years that if Rami ever nails it, he's going to win. So it was just a matter of time of him nailing it, and he did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a huge Rami fan. Since you brought him there to take my title in 2013.
And 14. And 14.
And 14.
Yeah.
That me and him always clicked, and he's a great dude, a lot of love and respect, and with that he's a great champion, but he deserved. And is it something that I feel that is an era change? I think he's bringing that, and I hear you guys are, getting ready for the next one. I mean, I think he's in good hands. I think you guys have found a formula. The three of you guys, you, him, and Chad, and I think it's something that, if he keeps bringing that, it's going to be very hard to beat. Is it impossible? No, because this is bodybuilding.
No, we know. We saw it the last 7 years that there's 6, 7, 8 people that can beat him if he's not on.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You got Brandon Curry, amazing. You have, I don't know if Sean's going back on, but if he does, you have so many great guys. I don't know if he's retired and if he's going to try to do a comeback. We don't know. And all these champions are all... I put my hats down. I got a ton of respect. I love all those guys, and I know that none of them are to be taken lightly.
Mm-hmm. So since you just brought up Sean, I'd like to ask you. Sean's been out since 2018, so that's 3 years coming this Olympia. Do you think? I mean, and Sean is in his late 40s. Do you think it's possible for him to just come back and just continue where he left off?
Yeah, I believe so. If he is able to compete, I believe I don't see why not. I mean, I think,
Well, we saw it with Phil. He was gone for 2 years and didn't come back at his best, and he says he was just turned 41 that year. So we're talking 6, 7 years later for a person that hasn't been competing in 3 years. And I'm not saying he wouldn't have been able to compete because there's a difference of training and training. If you got some, you know what he's going through, and there's absolutely no chance in hell that you can be focused and solely focus on your training when you have to go through some legal issues, that he's going through. So it's going to be hard. So I don't think he was training the way he was supposed to train in the last 3 years. So that's why I think that this is going to be very hard for him to come back and to be at his best, or be better than he was, or maybe as good as he was in 2018. That's just my opinion. I'm not sure. If he can do it, well, hey, that's something that I don't think is possible.
Yeah. It all depends on the individual, I think, because I think some people can go, and under stress, they can perform better. I think that it depends on, that he might get into a tunnel vision and might be able to perform. It might not. I don't know. I can't, but I will hope. I would love to see, if they gave him a chance to compete, I would definitely
I was, yeah.
And I would definitely give the benefit of the doubt. I believe that he could.
Yeah, I was hoping that they would have let him compete the last 2 years. So I don't see why he shouldn't compete, because I mean, we're still in the United States of America, where you innocent until proven guilty. At the end of the day, whatever happens, and I believe in my heart that this is going to get they're going to drop the case sooner or later. But then there's no reimbursement for him for those 3 years that he missed, not as a competitor. I'm talking about as a Mr. Olympia champion, when you could go off and start making money as you Mr. Olympia. This is when they took it away from him, basically, with this whole case. So therefore, I believe it's, I don't think it's fair. I do understand, I don't even know. I don't even want to say I understand, because I don't want people to think negative. I see a little bit of both sides, but still, we're still in the United States of America, and I think that, and I don't even know for this year if he's able to compete or not. But I think this is a case that should have been done like years ago. I mean, come on. I mean, how long do you need to go to court? I mean, I thought you have the right to a speedy trial, and it should have been done a long time ago. That's why I believe that there's not much there, and it might going to get dropped, in the near future, and then he's ready to go. Hopefully, he could still pick up where he left off. I mean, I wish the best for him. I really want to see him. I wanted to see all of them on stage. I mean,
Yeah,
Sean.
me too.
I would like to see Phil coming back, and not a comeback, because he's not gone. But I don't see it happening. But I wish. But at the end of the day, I mean, there's so many new guys now coming in, like, Ian Valliere, Hunter Labrada, this Nick Walker and Awudu, the Blessing, those guys. This is going to be the new generation. Like, we moved in I remember when I came in, we had to wait for these guys, Flex, Sean Ray, Kevin Larone, for them to leave so we could move into their spot, and then it's the next generation, and so will be this generation coming up. So I'm looking forward to it. So give me your quick prediction for this year's Olympia, from what you know so far. What do you see happening in 2021?
I'm gonna go with, I don't know. It's hard. Like, I'm not gonna say who wins, because it's hard. It's like I said. I think, we all know that it all depends who comes in what. But I think our top 5, top 6 is gonna look very similar. I just would say that Rory Winkler is gonna be added to that mix. He competes, and I think he's been looking freaky. So,
But what about the newer guys? I'm gonna name a couple of names: Hunter Labrada, Ian Valliere, and Nick Walker, and Justin Rodriguez, Akeem Williams.
Wow, those guys are amazing. Wow.
I'll put you on the spot right now.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, you know what? Then it's I always, and then at this point, I'm gonna have to say, out of all those guys, who has the right now. I remember, Akeem's been a training partner of mine for years, and we're really close friends. I'm gonna go with Akeem.
Akeem in my mind is the only one that can stand next to Rami.
Yeah, Akeem is huge, and he's a beast, and he's definitely he showed that he's in the top 6, and he proved. I think he can sneak in a few more spots.
Yeah. What is he doing next? What show is he doing? How is he going to qualify?
I spoke to him. I don't get to talk to anybody no more like that, because I'm always working and I barely even pick up my phone. But I think he told me he was competing, but I don't remember.
Was it Chicago?
I don't remember the show, but I know he's doing something. I think mid-year or something like that.
July, Chicago Pro.
Could be. I don't know.
Yeah. So how was your birthday party, man?
Dude, I haven't celebrated in over 10 years, and Karen made sure that I had the best party ever.
I just saw Dexter texted. Yeah, everybody was invited but him.
Oh, he was invited.
I'm like, no, I wasn't invited either.
Come on, you guys.
I did send you a video message, though.
I know, I saw it, man.
Did you get that?
Thank you, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So next time when you get 40, 39 is not old enough. So we got to wait for the 40th.
All right, so you coming for the 40?
I will, if you, listen, hey, how many times you invited me and I didn't show up?
All right, you're right. You're right. So make this one count.
Yeah, I'm celebrating 55 in 30 days. No,
Okay.
shit, what's today? 31st, yeah, in 28 days.
I was just talking about you to Angelica was on Sunday.
Oh, yeah? I had her on my live the other day. I caught her.
Oh man, like she obviously it was all good, and man, 55. Wow,
55, man. 55. That tells me, yeah. Well, listen, I learned how to deal with it, so it's not that bad. I'm not walking in a walker. The producer's just making fun of me. That's okay. That's all right. Brother, I appreciate you coming on, taking the time. I know you're busy. I'm going to let you go. I keep doing what you're doing, my friend, because you're obviously doing something right. And I don't love anything more than seeing people have success with whatever it is. It doesn't matter what it is. As long as you use your hard work and you make shit happen, and I see that success story. It's unbelievable, and I really appreciate it, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you. I always appreciate you. And to all the fans and all our, friends out there, love y'all. Thank you for the support.
Make sure you keep baking them cookies and make sure you throw Juan's favorite in there. 1 or 2 for me.
I got you.
All right,
I
brother.
got you.
Thank you.
All
Man.
right.
Take care. God bless you. Be safe.
Take care. Bye.